Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're diving into the life of, well, you could call him a cultural tightrope walker, Jean Amrouche.
A tightrope walker. That's a good one.
You've sent us some excerpts from this 1996 article about him, and honestly, what a story. So imagine, Algerian, but raised Christian. We're talking French colonialism here.
Right, right.
And then he becomes this strong voice for Algerian independence, all while, trying to figure out his own identity.
Talk about being caught between two worlds.
Exactly. It's like, where do you even begin to unpack that?
Well, luckily, this article we've got, it's a review of a book on Amrouche's life and work. And let me tell you, it digs deep into all those complexities.
Perfect, because I'm already hooked. So for those of us who might not know, who was Jean Amrouche?
So picture this. A guy born in 1906, died in 62, the year Algeria gets its independence.
Oh, wow, right in the thick of it.
Right. And he's got these Kabyle roots, raised Christian, all while Algeria is under French rule. He was a poet, essayist, a literary critic.
A whole shebang.
But also this passionate advocate for Algeria's freedom. I mean, the article even calls him a potential agent of mediation between Algerian and French cultures.
Which, let's be real, sounds like a pretty thankless job during a revolution.
You can say that again?
The article mentions a book, An Algérien s'adresse aux Français. An Algerian addresses the French, with the subtitle, The History of Algeria Through Texts, 1943-1961. What's the connection?
Okay, so that book, it was edited by Tassadit Yassin, published back in '94. It's a treasure trove. It's got 2 decades worth of Amrouche's writing, letters, essays, even speeches.
Wow, straight from the source.
Exactly. And many are from those super tense years, 1958 to 1960, leading up to independence.
So we're talking unfiltered thoughts during a pivotal moment. I bet those writings are something else.
Oh, they are. They really give us this front row seat to how his political views were developing. His, rock-solid support for Algerian independence, and even his perspective on Charles de Gaulle.
Ooh, de Gaulle. Now, that was a whole other layer to the situation. Not exactly the expected move from a French leader back then.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is Amrouche was in France during the war,
Oh, wow.
advocating for Algerian independence. I mean, talk about walking into the lion's den.
It takes a certain kind of courage to do that, to be a voice for change in the very place that's, trying to silence you.
It's incredible. And you have to imagine the pressure that puts on a person, that internal struggle.
Absolutely.
And the article really gets into that, this idea of the déracinement. It's like this feeling of being uprooted.
Oh, I've heard that term before.
Yeah, and for Amrouche, it was this constant pull between his Kabyle roots and then his French upbringing. And his writing, it becomes this way of exploring what it means to live between those two worlds.